Hey everybody, Kendra here. So I wanted to talk about how couples need to do maintenance prevention. So if you are thinking about becoming a couple with somebody like a boyfriend, girlfriend, that kind of thing, or even if you've been in a marriage for a really long time, it's really important to do maintenance prevention to basically prevent you from having a really crappy relationship and possibly breaking up. Maintenance prevention doesn't mean you won't break up, but it just means that the relationship you have will be more fulfilling. There's a lot of growth in the relationship, there's a lot of love in the relationship, and there is a lot of healing on both sides. Healing those wounds that we've had from past relationships or attachment with our parents, caregivers, that kind of thing. So maintenance prevention to me is doing the Gottmans and doing the Hendrix's work. So Harville and Helen Hendrix to me is the foundation. You read the book and do the workbook together. I always say you don't have to do the workbook like they say you have to do it if you're not like on the verge of divorce. If you're just doing it for maintenance prevention, my partner and I did it. We communicated, we did it every Sunday, and we communicated that we would do it like 30, 45 an hour, 30, 35 minutes or an hour every Sunday, right? It took a long time, but it wasn't the prescribed thing, right? But we were just doing it for maintenance. And then I say do the Gottmans because they're like more of the growth and making an ecosystem in your relationship. And it's really, really great. And so the reason being is that what we want is what we don't want is we don't want a relationship that's just content where you're both roommates and you both lead separate lives, but you're together living under the same roof, right? And I mean, some people want that. Some people don't aspire to that, but they're fine with it, right? But what most people want is a relationship where there's growth. So I tell people all the time that doing this work is challenging. It is not easy. It will cause you to have fights doing the work. And I don't like the word fight, maybe conflict. But the point is it's short-term issues and it's long-term success versus a lot of issues over a long period of time and only having a few like moments that are really nice and good that you can remember, right? And so you're going to have pain either way. Either you're going to love somebody a whole lot and then they're going to pass away, right? Or you're going to love someone a whole lot and then you might break up or get divorced. But that pain comes from having a lot of love if you're doing this work, right? Even if you get divorced or break up and you're doing this work, you're going to more than likely just have a lot of love and growth and healing and health in the relationship. And then, pain will come at some point. Okay. And I think it's better than having pain and chaos and turmoil multiple times in the relationship, like all the time. That's all your relationship is. And there's only like small portions of healing, health, growth, and love. And it's very surface level at that. And so we don't want to also mistake loving and having healing and growth and that kind of thing for being in a really long relationship. So, like, oh, I've been with my partner for 40 years, and that must mean that no. Like, I think that you can be with someone like I've been with my partner for 2 years, and I have had so much healing and growth from my relationship. And I think that it doesn't matter how long you've been with the person, it just matters what kind of work you put in with the person. It's not that we're not supposed to have conflict, it's how you have conflict. You're co-creating a relationship with this person. And they are supposed to be your partner, your teammate, your equal partner. And that can only come through safety and trust and mutual respect and reciprocation, those kinds of things. So again, if you're in a relationship that is abusive, this stuff doesn't work emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, honor-based abuse, these things don't work. But if you're in a relationship that is not that, these things do work. So if you are in a relationship where there's not a lot of trust and safety, especially if there has been physical altercations, even if it's just pushing, right? That's still physical altercation. and where there has been emotional and mental abuse. Think of name calling, being mean to each other, right, like yelling at each other, those kind of things. Those are abusive things. And the financial abuse, those kinds of things. If you want, you could go see a counselor. I always suggest seeing a counselor separately. So I see a counselor, my partner sees a counselor, and then we see a different counselor together. We do there's not a same counselor in this at all, right? And so even if you are doing this work though, and you don't have abuse in your relationship, but you really just need help doing the work, I suggest getting counseling. So each person is in a counseling relationship independently, and then you're in a counseling relationship together with a different counselor. And the reason is bias. And you don't want someone thinking that this counselor is taking your side because they're your therapist or whatever. And counselors should be aware of that, by the way. I think it's very unethical. So, FYI, that's my opinion. And so that's what I tell my clients. And yeah, so take the leap, do it. It's work, but it's worth it. And yeah, so if you value the content I create, please like, subscribe, and share. Bye.